Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games, and welcome to this evening's stream and my extremely messy painting table that you can see there. Hi Wicked D, hi Pete the Priest, hi Tony, hi Fizzy Wizzle. Welcome everybody. Oh, thanks. I just been and got myself a pint of water, just ready for the action. Oh. There we go, beautiful. So yeah, back to work with this chap this evening. We've got Oman Rule, the wizard here, that we're gonna paint with his green robes. So last week we painted him a dark green, and we've given him a wash all over with some Nuln Oil, and did a few other little bits and pieces, or all over his robe at least, with some Nuln Oil, and then now we're going to highlight him up. I have just painted this tiny little skull in here with some Citadel Retributor armour, and the next thing that I'm going to do, just while we get ready for the green, is I'm just going to put some Reichland flesh shade just on that tiny bit of gold there. How is everyone today? Hope you've all had a great day. Oh, what's wrong with it as it is? How's that? Whoop, whoop. Melting like your paints. Been a warm day for you, has it, Pete? It's been a bit rubbish down the street where Mighty Lancer HQ is today. A bit of a wind tunnel down the old Market Street. Right now, so we're just going to pop him, and I'm going to have to stand him. It's much easier for you guys to see him if I lay him down. But what's I've noticed was happening is rubbing all the paint off the back of his skirts there, so I'm just going to stand him up just while I mix the paint up here. So we're going to use some Reaper Coal Black just to tone down this green, and then we've got some Vallejo Game Colour Dark Green here. There we go, a bit of that onto there, and then we're going to use some of this. Tony says, doing good here, finished Simon the Death Jack, and I'm starting Baron von Fancy Hat.
Yes, he's got
awesome.
For the Fancy Hat.
Ah, Fancy Hat's townhouse. Awesome. Yeah, we want to become famous.
You want to become famous, Joey? I don't think we do.
No, I'm not too worried about becoming famous, to be fair. We've got a bot.
I know, things aren't working.
Right, just gonna mix up some of that, and then I'm gonna.
Me and Little Miss got a bot when we were playing Animal Crossing. Yeah, there was only bless their little hearts. There was only Pete and Tony watching us. Because it was a bit of a strange stream, wasn't it? Like, we just, one-off strange stream because Little Miss wanted to play that. So, and then we got a bot. We just thought, well, surely there's bigger streams to target than us.
Yeah. Ruba.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, good evening. Right then, so I've got a bit of my green mixture. I'm going to go for this darker green that I've mixed here, and you'll see I've not consistently mixed it across the palette. That's because I'm going to take little bits of each kind of area out of there so I can blend my colours in a little bit more. I'm trying to be all fancy. With it here.
That's horrible. Oh, are you using a rubbishy brush? Wicked D says, it's horror brush. Were you using your...
I'm using... Oh, yeah, that one.
Mushed up
rubbishy
brush.
This one here.
Everyone man needs a mushed up rubbish brush.
This is my paint mixing brush, Wicked D.
Wicked D says, I was gutted I missed the stream on Sunday. Yeah, we started from scratch. Got a new island and living in a tent on Animal Crossing. And I can't remember all that far ago, so it's like I've never played before. You watched the replay. Wicked D watched the replay. Yeah, did you notice me just going, "Whoa, I don't know what's happening?" And I was doing voices for the characters, and then forgetting what voice I'd done for each character.
Oh, I know. And then
in typical me style.
I imagine that little Miss was telling you off, was she?
No, she wasn't. She wasn't actually telling me off. I don't think she could remember either, you see, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Pete watched until the football started. We do appreciate you coming along. I know it's not painting or anything, is it? We just thought we'd give it a go because Nathan was at work, so there was no Skyrim Sunday.
Yeah. Busy day. We had one of the local clubs come in they booked out the gaming floor, and they came over. We had, don't know, about 18 people in, running 8 or 9 games. It was pretty cool.
What's the maximum? Is it 30 we can have?
30.
Because of COVID, distancing rules and all that malarkey.
Yeah.
So that was quite good then. Chunkster said, had some fun games on Arena tonight. Oh, you've been opening, what is it, Modern Horizons?
Modern Horizons 2.
You've been opening them. I mean, we did a little TikTok of it because, we're all into the TikTok now. Oh, so Pete was watching because it got him more hydrate points, you see, for watching.
I see.
There we go, you can have a hydrate now because he's got hydrate points.
Super. Thanks, Pete the Priest.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Chunkster, with your Arena. I just can't get into Arena. Sorry. Sorry for a slurp. Oh, and a stretch. Can I take this hat off? My head's getting a bit warm. It's definitely been about 4 minutes. Yeah, I just can't get on with Arena. Oh, another hat me. What deck are you playing, Chunkster? There's quite a few kind of strong archetypes at the moment, I understand.
I'll give you a cool hat.
A cool hat?
Like.
Oh yeah,
cold.
keep my head.
Because I've got you some new hats, but they're all warm.
Have you? Oh. New hats. Awesome.
Oh no, you could see me then. See me chuntering away at you, putting a hat on you. That was creepy. Sorry about that, everybody. Seeing my face.
Everybody wants to see you.
No, they don't. Saw something on Facebook today that my auntie had commented on, and it was one of these rubbishy posts. It said like, comment below if you dare to leave the house without makeup on. It's like, don't wear makeup. Don't dare to leave the house because I don't like the outside world, but makeup's not stopping me from leaving the house.
Yeah, more Mrs. MLG.
So anyway, you can tell everybody all about when we came on Sunday, what games they were playing, and how different it was having people actually playing games. And
yeah, it was
for
awesome.
once.
It was awesome. So we had a couple of guys playing Saga, which is a historical battle game. So they were playing Dark Ages combat. I believe it was Picts and what was the other faction? Celts, I think. I think it was Celts and Picts or something like that. And then we had a bolt action game, which was set in early war, where the German army was invading Poland. So they were playing a narrative scenario, the beginnings of a campaign between two of the guys from the club. So one of them playing the Polish forces, and so they've written a little campaign and decided what games they're going to be playing depends on who wins each game. Different things. So this game was, which you might have seen the photos of on our Facebook and what have you, but it was Germany invading Poland, like I say, and the objective was that they had to take a train yard and a little dock side area, and the Poles just fought them off. So the next game that they're going to play is the German army attacking an armoured train, which sounds really cool. That'll be when the guys come over next month, I think. We had a couple of guys playing a game called Cold War Commander, which is 6mm, so really tiny tanks. So each tank is about the length of a 2p piece. And that was really cool. They were getting some practice in because they were going to a big tournament later in the year. I think it's a tournament or a big campaign day or something over in Grimsby, organised by a club over there. And what else did we have? We had an Age of Sigmar game between Fire Slayers and Sylvaneth, Tree Men. Just for you, Pete. We had a group of guys playing Mordheim, which is a classic GW game from the late 90s. What else did we have? We had Stargrave, which is Frostgrave in space.
Hi, J-Star.
And J-Star was over playing in a bit of 40k. And I suppose he'll mind me naming him. Or hope he don't, anyway. What else? I can't remember, there was another game going on as well. Oh, Star Wars. Some Star Wars Legion on the next table over. Loads of stuff happening. And I was so busy working that I didn't get a chance to play any games at all. Outrageous. Good job we got some gaming in on Saturday, eh?
So Chunkster says, played Mardu Reanimator deck. Is any of those words
yeah,
correct?
that makes sense, yeah.
Homebrew. And Pete says, I need my makeup on. The humans don't like us aliens.
Yeah. That might be a bit bright. We'll see how that dries. Yeah, so Mardu is white, red and black colours in Magic. And Reanimator generally means that you try and put all your stuff in your graveyard and then recast it out of your graveyard so you can get more creatures.
Tony says, speaking of bolt action, do you have any Conflict 47 players? Quite fancy doing something historical, but being me, like the alternative weird histories.
So, that's a good question, Tony. So we haven't ever really played any Conflict 47 in the shop. We've not got anybody who's really got on it, but it is just the same rule system as bolt action, and anybody that's got a bolt action army has really got a Conflict 47 army. All it takes is adding in a couple of the special weapons and more unique units into your existing army. So we've definitely had a lot of people who've expressed an interest in kind of weird war gaming because they can enhance their existing collections in order to play it. So if you fancy it, I can definitely start encouraging some of these people to get some more obscure units into their forces that we might be able to find you some opponents. I know that a few of the turrets for the tanks, so like the Tesla turrets for the Shermans, and there's a projector turret that goes on the Panzer IV chassis and what have you. They used exactly the same hull for a lot of them, and it's just a different resin turret. So for a lot of the guys, it might even be a very easy adaptation of some of their existing stuff. I know I do have a few bits of Conflict 47 stuff stashed, as you might well imagine. And there's another line which is compatible. It's its own game, but Secrets of the Third Reich by Westwind. Yeah, werewolves, vampires, zombies, all sorts of weird stuff like that, J-Star. Yeah, but it is basically bolt action with just some like different stuff. It's Rift Tech, I think it is. And I saw a post from Clockwork Goblin, I think it's called. They were the originators before they started collaborating with Warlord Games. Saw a post from them the other day saying that there's some new stuff coming as well. The walkers look really cool. I've always liked those. And we've just got some more stock in, actually, because we've not had it for quite a while. But because I wanted to try, I did want to try and encourage some of our players to start getting into it, so I made sure that we've got some on the shelves. Some different things. So we've got some of like the starter armies and some of the walkers and what have you. Yeah, some of the Westwind stuff's really cool as well. You might want to check that out. And would be quite compatible in some ways. It's the one thing that I could go and lay my hands on at the easiest is one of the Westwind werewolves. It's like a Rottweiler werewolf. Looks really cool. But I do like the weird war stuff.
Chunkster says, I also have a 4-colour version of the same deck that splashes blue.
Oh yeah? I do like the Reanimator style stuff for Magic. I have a zombie deck for EDH, which works in the same kind of way. Esper colours, which is white, black and blue. Tony says, I like the Westwind stuff too. Was interested in Dust, but that's really tough to source. It is. It's really hard to get hold of. There's only a couple of companies that have any kind of stock of it, unfortunately, which is a real shame. And occasionally we see a couple of bits pop up on kind of sale lists from different distributors, but I think that's just where they've got like end of line and clearance from some of the other places. And Pete the Priest says, anyone want to train me to play 40k when I get the new codex for my Necrons? Yeah, well, when you've got your codex, Pete, and you're ready for action, you just let us know in the Discord and we'll find you an opponent. That's not a problem. It's we can find somebody that'll take you through it. Hi Dice School Studios, how you doing? Right, I don't know about this. And about this green, I don't know whether I should try and make it a little bit brighter, or whether I should leave it quite subtle like it is. What do you reckon?
It's entirely up to you, sweetie pie. We're currently painting one of the Reaper miniatures that comes in our Reaper Miniatures subscription box that we do, and you are painting the wizard, aren't you?
I am. This is Oman Rule, who we put in our recent Reaper sub box. That's too bright, that, isn't it?
What's your dial then?
Whether I should have brightened it up or not, I think I might just put a little bit of this on and we'll see how it goes.
And Pete the Priest is keeping Nathan head warm, I suppose we could say, with all these Hat Me requests.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So Wicked D's will look after you by saying hydrate now. Now you're gonna get warm.
Yeah, right, okay. Cool, thank you. Awesome. Hat me. Yeah, it's because it's got a cooldown thing on it, Pete. It won't let you use it every so often. It maybe wouldn't let you use it because Wicked D had already clicked it or something.
So what's on everybody else's hobby desk then? What are we all doing? What are you up to, Dice Skull?
Yeah, so this is Vallejo Game Colour Dark Green, and I've mixed it with some Reaper Coal Black to get the darker shades. And now, because it's quite a thin paint, as it dries you're only seeing like a kind of light highlight, should we say, fine highlight, or a subtle highlight even, on the thing there. So even though when I'm putting it on it looks really bright, when it's actually drying you're not getting that really bright colour. It's coming much more subtle, which is what I wanted really. We don't want it to look too bright because we're going to try and do a little bit of magenta fluorescent here. Magenta fluorescent object source lighting.
So Dice Skull says, I was going to say it looks like the one of my followers just painted from your mystery box, so that's nice. Wicked D's actually painting and says, yay! Pete the Priest, I've got scorpions for Goblin inspiration. That sounds cool. That would be a surprise, wouldn't it? Dice Skull says, I'm painting some Star Wars Legion, and Crafty Gobbo is in the house.
Hi,
Are you
Crafty.
wearing a cat? Now, Pete did a Redeem Hat Me, and now Nathan is wearing a fluffy pink hat that belongs to Little Miss. Tony's painting Baron von Fancy Hat, who bears an uncanny resemblance to Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberrys. I know who that is. I know who that is, Tony. And he does, you're right. I've seen the picture in Discord. Crafty says that hat suits you. And
Thank you.
J-Star's painting more Smurfs. Everybody's super busy. What are you painting, Wicked D? You said I'm painting, but you didn't say what you're painting. Everybody's super busy today. That's cool, isn't it? We all like hobby. Get some more hobby in, that's what you need.
Yeah.
I'm painting a fence. That's how exciting my life is. Why am I painting a fence, sweetie?
Because I need more scatter terrain.
What for?
Frostgrave.
So you had your first game of Frostgrave, didn't you, the other day?
Yeah, last Thursday I had a game with one of our good friends, Jim, and we had a bit of a tester. So it was a slow game, a lot of flicking backwards and forwards in the book because it's the first game that we've had for quite some time, and it went quite well. Just tested out a few rules, got my head around the some of the post-game sequence and what have you. Tried out some different spells, and yeah, I killed his wizard. Oh. Well, didn't particularly kill it. Yeah, not killed it dead, but I used a spell called Strike Dead, and
sounds pretty dead.
yeah. So you need an 18, a 19, or a 20 on a 20-sided dice to be able to successfully cast it, which I did, and popped him off. So he had to make a save and failed his save, and that was it. Took him out, and then the rest of his war band decided that discretion was the better part of valour and ran away. So victory.
So Chunkster says, you know who did the voice of Nigel Thornberry? And Tony says, Tim Curry. And Chunkster says, yeah, that's probably why I liked him. Wiki D is painting more words that I can't say. Lanel, is it Lanel? Half Elf Rogue 77387 in the catalogue. We do like Rocky Horror here. It is one of our favourites. We have dressed up. We have been. We were not ashamed to walk through the streets dressed up.
Yeah, I do like.
I haven't seen it though, Chunkster, because don't like horrors.
I do like a bit of Rocky Horror. I don't get the shouting out though.
No, we didn't do any of that, did we? We didn't throw toast at people and shout out while they were trying to act or anything. We didn't go to one that raucous, did we? And the first one that I went to wasn't like that either.
No.
But that was many, many moons ago.
Yeah, I think we've determined that you and I have been to the same run at the Hull.
Yeah, that's right.
Before we met.
We both went to the same run of shows, but we didn't know each other, which is quite spooky, isn't it? We didn't know we were there, obviously, until we met and talked about it, and we were like, oh yeah, I went to that one. Yes. I went with my friends, and you went with yours?
Yeah. Yeah, we went on the train from Driffield to Hull, all dressed up in our fancy dancy gear.
What did you go as? What were you wearing?
Stockings and suspenders and the basket and all the gear.
I didn't know if you'd gone as that or if you'd gone,
No, we've definitely discussed that before, my darling.
See, my friends are male, so my friends just wore my clothes. I was just like, yes.
And then only about a year after did photographs circulate that one of our friends had taken where I realised that I wasn't entirely contained by my costume.
Is that like the in-betweeners sketch where he's walking down the...
Oh yeah, just like that, yeah.
And he's hanging out slightly.
That's, almost exactly like that. Yeah.
Wiki D went as magenta.
No.
You like Columbia, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think Columbia is cool.
It says I can pull off a riff-raff now without needing a wig. We went, was it? Well, obviously it wasn't last year. Was it the year before or the year before?
I think it was the year before last.
Yeah, we went, but rather larger now. So we went as one of the dancers in the suits.
Yeah, we just went as Transylvanians.
Nobody would really want to see anything else. And even when I went with the boys many moons ago, when I was thinner and a lot younger, I still wore a skirt. The boys didn't. The boys went in all the thingy, but I was still not comfortable enough to just have the stockings and suspenders on. Dice Skull says, I keep threatening my girlfriend to go 1 year with her as Rocky Gold. That's what I said.
Yes.
Rocky Gold Pants. I said that Nathan should do that, but he wasn't brave enough. And then also, we had two things on the same night a couple of years ago when we went. So we had another fancy dress party afterwards. So we dressed as the Transylvanians for Rocky Horror Show and went and saw that. And then we got back into town and got really quickly slightly changed into Men in Black because we could still wear the suits, and went to the other fancy dress party. That's when we actually went out. And all the events we ever used to go to, nothing had happened all year, and then everything had happened at the same time.
Yeah.
Wiki D says it was 2 years ago, around this time that you went. Thanks, Wiki D. Wiki D would know because she was at the other party that we went to. I lose track. We've lost like a year and a half.
Oh yeah, because it was a 30th birthday, I think, or something like that. Ah, yes, I. Right then, so now we're going to go undo his beard, I think. So for this, I'm going to use my favourite brown, a bit of russet brown. Oh yeah, I've seen that. That Chunkster, Robert Downey Jr. came second in a Tony Stark lookalike contest.
Didn't Charlie Chaplin do the same? He entered a Charlie Chaplin competition and didn't win. Wickedy says, yay, Russet Brown. You should definitely go, Dice Skull. It is lots of fun. Just to have fun is the best thing. It is fun going to Rocky Horror. We do like it.
I saw a thing, a programme a while ago. It was on like BBC Three or something. I think we were just waiting for something else to start on the telly, and it had Adele in it. So there was a like a lookalike competition thing, so where they were trying to find somebody that looked a bit like her for a TV show, and Adele was one of the contestants with a prosthetic nose on, and the rest of them didn't realise that she was there. It was, I don't know whether that was supposed to be like a charity thing or something. I can't remember what the premise was.
That's always
good story.
That's always the problem, though, isn't it? Because we have like a thought of what people look like in our minds, and it's not always really how they are. I've never really seen any celebrities in the street or anything, and if I did, I would probably convince myself they weren't really them. I'd be like, no, it couldn't possibly be them. Apart from that auction guy, we saw him once, didn't we? But what was he called? The Antiques Road Trip guy.
David something.
David Har, or whatever he was called.
Yeah.
Chunkster says they worked it out while she was singing. She had to cover up her tattoos on her arms.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah, because when she was singing, they were like, "Oh, she's really good," and then they like figured it out, didn't they? I remember now.
Well, I'm glad that's cleared that up. Crafty says the camera adds £10. I must have 3 on me right now. Yeah, I've got about 700. I'm just fat. There's no excuses for that. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need this. Yeah, it's fine. It's Wicked D's fault anyway.
Why?
Because she said that she was going to make me go a walk and then never did. So that's that was the end of that exercise. So what are you doing now with your actual figure?
So now I've mixed a bit of russet brown and some aged bone, and then I'm just going to pick out a little bit of detail on his beard here. A couple of lines and strands, and then we'll move on to highlighting the black ever so slightly on his robe. And I don't want to do too much because we want to get the pink to be the focal point. So I'm just going to do the very edges of this, and then we're going to move on. We're going to just do a little bit of highlight on the black. Maybe not like that. There we go. So let's get him. I'm just trying to get him in position so I can show everybody what it looks like so far. There we are. Yeah. So I've got to have got to hydrate. Thanks, Pete the Priest. So this is where we are so far. Thanks, Pete.
Dice Skull met Nicolas Cage a few years back at Christmas when they worked for Toys R Us.
What was he like?
I don't like him. I think I've never met him, so that's really mean. I don't like his acting. I think he's the same in everything.
Yeah.
You like him though, don't you? His acting, that is.
Well, I don't know.
Pete
about
says
that.
it looks good.
Don't know about liking his acting. I like films that he's in.
Well, that's his acting, isn't it?
No, it's the
He
film.
was so nice. But apparently he was so nice. There you go. That's nice. It's nice when they're nice and not all stuck up and snotty. Isn't it? Really humble. Well, that's nice because they are only humans, aren't they? But sometimes they can be a bit mean, can't they?
One of my friends, an old friend. I haven't seen him for a while, but when he was at university, he was working at a restaurant in York, and Russell Crowe came in with some friends, and they sat down and they'd got like a little private seating area sorted out for him because they'd booked, obviously. And apparently, when they'd finished their meal, he tipped them like 500 quid to share between all the staff in the restaurant because they'd had such a nice time. That was good. Mark Addy, what's he like? Mark Addy is, if I am right, I think I am. Mark Addy is the guy that played Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones. He's the king at the start, and he's one of the original the fat guy, if you want to call him that. He's one of the people that were in the Full Monty.
Yes, yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Right, robe. So we're gonna go black. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the black slightly blue because I don't want to make it all grey because I'm gonna make the base grey. So we're gonna add a little.
What are you
doing? I've pulled the top off the paint.
Don't do that. No. Wiki D says I met Diddy Con. Don't know what that is either. Chunkster says I've met a few little and large, Cannonball, Shane Ritchie, Vic Reeves. What's Vic Reeves like? Is he nice? J Star says that Mark Addy was a nice bloke. Yes, he was Dave in Full Monty as well. Pete says can't say I've met anyone famous. It's alright, Pete. Neither have I. And Wiki D says Frenchie out of Greece. So that'd be why then. I don't know what that is. I haven't watched that. Tony says met one or two famous types in my time.
Including Terry Pratchett, eh?
Yeah, we said that last time. I've been on stage with a famous magician when I was really little. Old enough to get up on stage, but I can't remember who it was. Is it Copperfield or something?
Yeah?
Yeah, anyway. So my mother tells me anyway.
I've broken my intense blue.
Why?
Because
do you want me to fix it for me?
No, I don't need it. More than that, I'll sort it out next time when we're not on stream. I know. Wrecked it. Right then, let's. This would be a good colour for your Ultra Smurfs, J-Star. This intense blue. That'd be. That'd be a good equivalent to the old GW McCragg blue. Calador Sky type thing.
J-Star says, my mum won a bottle of whiskey. I'd like the whiskey. That was presented to her by Bobby Ball. Cool. Awesome. Chunkster says about Vic Reeves, because I asked. He was nice. It was when I was working at Flamingo Land. He came for a day out, playing on all the games. Whenever he won, he said, give it to the next kid that plays. Oh, that is nice, isn't it? Tony says, yep. Terry, Freddie Mercury. See, Freddie Mercury. That's the one that I would have loved to go to a concert. Freddie Mercury, Johnny Rotten, David Bowie. Oh, you're just showing off now, Tony. Just dropping all them names there. Crafty says, I once had a client, Jeffrey from Rainbow. Oh, it counts. It counts. At least it wasn't Zippy, I suppose. Was that as in a client to make them a puppet, Crafty? So what are you doing with the blue? I thought his robes were green.
No, this is his cloak.
Oh.
So I didn't want him to be all green, so I thought we'd mix it up a little bit and give his cloak a little bit of a blue hue. Because it's quite strongly black, so I was going to go for just a little bit of blue and see how it looked.
Chunkster says, we did have a nice chat. He thought I was stalking him, as nearly every game he played on, I was there. I was game supervisor and was Covering brakes.
Covering brakes.
Covering brakes. Sorry, I can't read. Sorry, Chunkster. Got a new hat today.
Have we? Cool. Professional services. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this the? This is the unicorn.
Tony says, didn't Jeffrey have a job at B&Q at one point? Probably. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere. Maybe selling like zips or something.
Was Jeffrey the hippo? Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Jeffrey was the hippo. No. Oh, I used to watch Rainbow, and now I can't remember. What? What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing at you trying to remember.
Yeah.
Rainbow from 1,000 years ago.
No, it's because I grew up with it. I always used to like Zippy.
Did you like Bungle?
No.
Why didn't you like Bungle?
Because he was stupid, wasn't he? Bumbling idiot.
I thought Jeffrey was the guy.
Yeah, isn't Jeffrey the guy? What,
You said he was the hippo.
Yeah, but what was the hippo called if Jeffrey's not the hippo?
I can't really remember it that much.
I can kind of remember the hippo going, ooh, Jeffrey.
Now we're doing Rainbow impressions. Yes, George was the hippo. There was Bungle, Zippy and George, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And Jeffrey was the man.
And then there was Rod and Jane and whatever the other guy was.
Oh, were they part of it too?
Yeah, they used to come in and play songs.
Crafty says, I never met George. Hippos are exempt from income tax. I mean, that would be a massive clue, wouldn't it, Crafty? That you met them in a professional service and he thinks it's a pink hippo.
There was somebody inside the costumes, wasn't there? But you do acknowledge that it wasn't a real hippo.
We're just going to move on. Chunkster says, I've also met Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson before. He was the movie star he is now, as well as one of my idols, Mick Foley. Or I think Wicked D likes the fact that you've met The Rock. I saw something somewhere on a social media site where somebody had put that daft thing that they put where they go, oh, has anybody else noticed that Dwayne Johnson looks just like The Rock? Like, it's just the same person. Even I know that, and I'm not very clever.
We watched Hobbs and Shaw the other day, didn't we? I bet Jason Statham is a nice guy. Seems like he could be a nice guy.
No one can see what you're painting there.
Yeah, I think is that better over there.
Yeah, The Rock, in all the interviews and whatever, he always seems like a really nice person. I've got a question for you.
Yes, madam.
So you're painting this bit blue. Have you painted it green and now you're painting over it?
No.
No, it just looks a bit green on the
I painted
picture.
it black.
Ah, okay.
I painted it coal black, actually, so it had like a bit of a tinge to it already.
Does everybody like Mr. MLG's unicorn hats?
Yeah, I might have to take it off in a minute because my head's getting way warm.
Way warm. That's it. I can show you.
Okay, I'll just do this little bit here and then
Yeah, you need a new hat on now because Crafty's been doing tatters. So you have to show that one off. Wicked D says, I don't have enough different types of grey here. Of course you do, just add black and white to it and you get a whole variety of grey. Pete the Priest has redeemed Hydrate. Crafty has redeemed Hackney. I'm going to swap his hat in a minute, Crafty, when he's finished concentrating. Keeps moving it out of the camera. Chunkster says that yes.
I do need to show that off, but my head's just getting too warm, so I need a break for a second. I do apologise.
Do you want the ears on?
No, I'll add this thing back on just to show everybody.
Doesn't matter. Do you want the ears on?
It's no, whatever you pick me, man. Okay. This is the particularly special unicorn hat.
Yeah.
I'll do it down a bit.
Go on, you can have Crafty's hat on now.
It's awesome. There we go. WWF back then were on a UK tour. They did a signing at a Virgin Media store near to me. As we got near, they said they were stopping signings and just shaking hands. The whole queue started an a-hole chant. He just looked up, did the people eyebrow and carried on. Okay. Right then, so a bit of blue on there. I think we might go for a little bit more intense blue on this. Ooh, that's too much.
Chunkster says he spent 10 hours queuing for a handshake. What did I queue for? For you to get signed? What was that?
One of my Dan Abnett books.
No, it wasn't. It was a Nathan Long book.
No, you queued for a few, but the one that you had to queue the longest for was the Dan Abnett one. So that was at Games Day in something like 2006. Might have been 2008. Anyway, we went to Games Day at Birmingham NEC, and while I was at the Forge World stand waiting to be able to buy my Orc Death Dread, I think it was, the big Orc, Mega Dread. So I was stood in a queue trying to get an Orc Mega Dread, and Mrs. MLG very kindly went and stood in the book signing queue for me and queued up to get one of my books signed by Dan Abnett and another one signed by, in fact you got 3 done for me. So you got one signed by Sandy Mitchell, who when we realised after we'd actually had breakfast with in the morning in the Holiday Inn and didn't realise
so I have met all these people and I just don't know.
Yeah, didn't realise that we'd had breakfast with him in the Holiday Inn in the morning until he signed the book for us. And then Dan Abnett and the other guy who is Nathan Long, who writes a couple of the Go Trek and Felix stories.
Oh yeah.
And he wrote in the front of the book something along the lines of, "I want my name back."
But for those who don't know, that is Nathan's name, who is currently painting a wizard, as well as a famous author. Maybe we could, just get you to write a book as well.
No, it would be dreadful.
J-Star says, I met Peter Beardsley at the opening of Arco Sports in Hull City Centre in the 80s. Cool. That'd be cool.
Who's Peter Beardsley? I knew that.
Did you? You just being silly?
Yeah. My screen is broken.
Has it? Oh yes, so it has. Yes. You don't have our stream on anymore, do you?
No.
We normally put our stream on Nathan's screen in front of him so that he can see the chat, and it seems to have just given up. That's nice, isn't it? You can still see the chat though. You can see Crafty, can't you? You just can't see yourself.
Yeah, it's really weird. Which, even though there's a little bit of a lag, I do try and keep an eye on that to see where I'm painting when I remember.
WikiD says, did it say network error? It does. It does say network error. It still says it now. I've not sorted it out for him yet.
Does anybody else have network error?
Chunkster had to reload. I've just reloaded yours for you. You're back on again now.
Yeah.
But then Twitch... we are on Twitch, aren't we? Twitch has had loads of problems in the recent couple of weeks. Goblin Squire is in the Discord currently telling me that he can't connect. He's been trying for 45 minutes. I thought that he was watching the other stream on a Monday, but apparently he's been trying to get on Twitch, whichever stream he was watching, and just can't. So I think they're having a rubbish time. But then Goblin Squire was having some problems with his stream himself last week, and he had to give up in the end, which was really rubbish because technical issues are probably one of the most stressful, aren't they? Because there's nothing you can do about them.
Nope.
Well, I'm glad you stuck with us, Crafty, when you had yours and Wicked D. Oh, you're all so kind to us. We do really appreciate you coming along, you know. And one day Nathan will paint in the middle of the screen, and you'll all be able to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
What, one day, maybe. You've got to hydrate, man.
Okay. I once went to a job interview where my computer didn't work.
Did you need your computer for a job?
Yeah, I was supposed to be doing a presentation on my 30, 60, 90 day plan of how I was going to improve performance in the area that I had applied for. So fortunately I had prepared for all eventualities and taken a couple of paper copies in folders that I could leave with the interviewers.
That shows forward planning, surely.
Yeah, it was alright in the end. Apart from
did
when
you get the job?
No. They didn't like my plan. I don't think that I ever stood a chance of getting it anyway, because somebody else, the guy who ended up getting the job, had already been seconded into the position for 2 years.
Oh, was it one of those things where they have to advertise to be seen to be advertising, but really they know that bloke's getting it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you were too good for it anyway, sweetheart.
And we didn't want to have to move, did we? So it was, I put it down to experience. There we go. My lid's fixed. Screwing the end back on tight's obviously fixed it. Right. So just going to mix a little bit more. I'd run out of blue, so I'm just going to mix a little bit more of this intense blue in there, just so I can get an edge highlight for these things.
Oh, you need a different hat. Yeah, they are on the ball with Hat Me today, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to get me to be in the picture again.
Yeah, you in the picture. Everybody wants to see Mrs. MLG.
Nobody wants to see.
Everybody.
J-Star says, just think if you got the job, we might not have MLG. Was it a promotion from the job you had?
Yes.
Because he used to have a proper job, J-Star. A really good proper job where you got a car and everything. And we gave it all up just to run MLG. Just for you, lovely lot, you see. Look how nice we are. Now we eat beans on toast and have a really rubbish car. And work 7 days a week.
Yeah. Mrs. MLG won't let me change our account.
No, I won't, you're right. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just your... Nathan is used to nice company cars, which, you know, were really nice. I mean, they were really nice. We had a Mercedes, we've had a BMW, we've had a really nice Volvo, and now we've got our car, which is what we can afford. But it only does the same job. We get in it, we drive somewhere, and we get out. That's what a car's for. Tony says, if you wore black gloves, it'd look like the hat was magically floating on Nathan. Yeah, he's very dark today, isn't he? Magically floating on Nathan's head. Could do like a green screen, his head bobbling about, because you're all in black.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want anything overly extravagant.
You're not with anything else, it's fine. No one can see what you're doing.
Yeah. Right. So we're just going to let this guy dry a touch. In fact, I'm just going to sort that bit out there where I've got green on his base. So I'm going to do the front of his base here. So it's all grey, ready for action. And then we're going to try and do a little bit of OSL before we finish up the stream. I'll say OSL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get a bit of this pink to look like it's emanating from the orb. So I might wreck all of my progress. Yay! But we'll see. So we're just going to, I'll paint that bit in black, and then we'll put a little bit of grey dry brush onto the front of the base there so it doesn't look daft. And then we'll give the pink a go, but we want to... we'll see how it goes. Because I've not really used a great deal of this paint, and I don't know how it's going to go on. So we're going to start
It's
off with
very
some
bright, and I think when I did my terror fish with it, it's quite thick.
Yeah, I might bottle out.
No, don't bottle out. So this is for your Reaper Challenge League, isn't it? Do you want to tell people who don't know what the Reaper Challenge League is while you're preparing your paint, my darling?
So, well, you're going to have to dive in and tell me if I get anything wrong. But the RCL is a community painting challenge organised by Reaper. And the idea is that you paint several things in the month, such as... play a character, monster, new release, and each one of these categories you get points for, and then the points at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter you can trade in for tickets into a raffle where you can win some prizes potentially. And it's pretty cool, but mainly, rather than like hoping that I'm going to win anything, I'm mainly doing it to motivate me to get some stuff painted, things that I've wanted to paint for a while. So like the pirate that I might have shown or have shown off a couple of weeks ago that I'm working on, she's slowly getting finished. Here we go. Give you a brief flash while I'm waiting for this guy to dry.
So as well as individual things, you do a trio, which is you painting with two other people, and a duo, you painting with one person, and large group. And our Discord community has decided, I was going to focus on that and now you're taking it away.
Sorry.
Has decided that our large group is going to paint along a pirate theme. So a large group is 4 or more people. We've got quite a few, I think. And this is what you are painting for your pirate theme. I did the zombie shark, which we gave away last Tuesday, and Cookie Monster won. But I took pictures so that I can actually submit it into a large group, otherwise that would have been silly, wouldn't it? So yeah, the RCL is really cool. It's for fun. There's no judgment, any age, any ability, and we talk about it quite a lot in our Discord because we all enjoy it and we chat about it and decide what we're going to do and stuff. And it's really cool. And if you want to know more, come along and we'll try and help you out a bit. It's run by Reaper Miniatures, not ourselves, but we just enjoy joining in. And it is cool and fun and gets you painting and thinking out of the box slightly.
Awesome.
So are you going for it?
I'm going to just put this grey on the base.
Oh, he keeps chickening out, doesn't he?
No, I'm not chickening out. I need to get the base done so I can put the pink glow onto the base as well. I don't want to have to do it in 2 goes.
So are you going to show everybody it before you...
Yeah, before I wreck it.
I didn't say wreck it.
I did.
Do the next stage.
lighter grey. I think we should photograph him so I can present him before I've made him all pink.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
I think so.
Right, so find something else to...
Yeah, I've got me.
You'll have to keep talking.
I will. Sorry. Right, I'll just get this little bit of lighter edge on there. I like to have all my miniatures based roughly the same. So that'll do him for now. So Mrs. MLG can take a picture, and then
I like the way you've got no confidence in yourself at all.
it's just I've never used this paint, and I don't know what it's going to turn out like. I don't want to wreck him. But here is my latest attempt at some kind of OSL. This is Christina. This is for a duo for the RCL, and she is. I was quite happy with how she's turned out, really, but I was very dubious about her as well with her lantern. She looks quite cool. And this is one of the first time in a long time that I used transfers. So rather than try and hand paint some kind of design on her shield, I used some transfers. These are actually from Adeptus Titanicus Warhound Titans, the Legio Gryphonicus transfers. I cut one down so it would fit on the bit down here at the bottom. And I've also got this chap here, which I decided, I think I've knocked my camera slightly. I decided that this chap, Sir Cranzel, who's also got a transfer on his shield there, I can position it. So the reason he looks like he's jumping off his base, I've glued him onto his base because he's going to be part of a diorama. And I straightened his sword out earlier on as well. So I've been mentioning last week when I showed him off that I was going to straighten his sword out with some hot water. And even though he's painted, it's come out alright. It's not stripped any of the paint off. So I decided that these two are from the same church or the same order or whatever. So she's a cleric and he's a paladin. From the same order in the pantheon. And he's going to be on my diorama and she's just going to be a PC. But yeah, quite happy with how both of those have turned out. I've found a formula for metal armour, plate armour that I'm really pleased with currently, which is to paint them with Vallejo steel. Vallejo, where is it? Here, let me tell everybody what I've come to really like. I paint the armour plates with this Model Air metallic steel, and then give it a wash over the top with Reaper steel wash, yeah, and then it comes out almost perfect for just a tiny little edge highlight and job done for really nice bright plate mail. It looks absolutely fantastic, I think. So try that out if you need to paint some really bright armour. Shades it really nice with the steel wash. Right then, so we're gonna go for it with the magenta. So this blob here that you can see at the bottom of my palette, just there, that's the fluorescent magenta. Let's see what we can make out of it. So I was planning on trying to dry brush this on. I don't know what kind of consistency we've got. Let's have a little look here. Oh yeah, it's quite jelly, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know what that's going to look like.
I know you use the fluorescent magenta on the ball, but could you not just use pink that you've used before to do the OSL? Does it have to be that? Just because that's what you use? Surely you could just use some pink.
Well, I could. But where's the fun in that?
Alright, fair enough. Crack on, I just wondered.
What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this arm here because like that's where the bulk of the. Oh look! What have I done there?
I don't know. I know it's not you. Just do it.
Okay, let's. Yeah, we can fix that later. Okay, we can fix that later. Right, let's get some of this beautiful pink. See it? You can't even see it.
The most tentative little brush stroke. Has everybody got their fingers crossed, holding their breath?
You can't even see it.
You're being too gentle.
Right. Maybe we don't bother with the dry brush technique. No, you can't see it. It's too dark, isn't it? Which one's that? Oh yeah, we'll use breast cancer pink. I think that's what we'll use.
Rosy pink, that's quite a colour like you think.
Oh yeah, that could be a good colour. We'll use a combination of these two, so some rosy pink and some breast cancer awareness pink. So we'll try that.
Yeah, Crafty says more nerve-wracking than a Euro qualifier. That's it. You see, we do all these things so that you know not to do them in the future. we practice for you. You see, all these other streamers that you watch, they're all oh, I've been doing this for years. I know this works. Just and there we're like, yeah, but what happens if we do this? Let's find out.
That's it. That's it. Right then, let's see how this looks. That's proper pink. Oh, that's too much. Too much.
So the idea of object source lighting, OSL, is to show the reflection from the object that is reflecting light. And the idea is to keep the object itself, such as a lantern, the brightest, because that's the source of the light, so it would be the brightest, and then show the reflections on clothes, etc., where that would be. Now you can use like a torch or something if you want to. Shine it on your miniature first, take a photograph, and that'll give you a rough idea of where the light would be hitting, because it wouldn't just hit in a massive line down your mini. There'd be little creases and crevices, etc. So sometimes shining the light in the direction and taking a photo can help if you're new to it. And then you work your way getting duller and duller as the light would go off. But make sure that the object that's giving off the light in the first place is the brightest thing, is always the brightest thing when you're trying to do it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Pete the Priest is giving you a weird fish thing with wings. So tomorrow we will be streaming at 7 o'clock and you'll be able to see the pair of us painting. So I'm not quite sure what Nathan's painting or what I'm painting. I should probably be painting scenery for Frostgrave. So barrels and crates and things that is what I am doing now. Unless anybody has any, things they want me to do. Crafty says, got to hop off now. Catch you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Crafty. We always go over. Yeah. I do apologise. We are supposed to finish at 9, but look, it's 10 past already.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you coming by and chatting and keeping us company. We really do appreciate everybody that comes in.
Thank you.
So tomorrow, 7 o'clock UK time, what we're in now, British summertime, and we'll both be painting, and then we hop on over to Goblin Squire and see what he's doing. And then on Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we'll be doing some more Nathan painting and me just jabbering on in the background like normal. And then Sunday, I think we're back to normal on Sunday with Skyrim Sunday.
We should be.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening in Skyrim, but that's what we should be doing. So that's our schedule for those of you that don't know.
I'll be painting my pirate tomorrow.
Oh, you're painting the pirate. So that pirate that Nathan showed you earlier, that's what he's going to be doing tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And yeah, I'm not sure. I might be doing some barrels, or I might have found something a bit more fun to do. I don't know. But we need this terrain. What do you call it? Scatter terrain?
Scatter, yeah. We've got some amazing looking buildings and things, but what we need is stuff for people to hide behind in between the buildings. That's what we need.
So that's what I'm doing. At the moment. Pete says, another zombie shark. Why do I need to paint another one? I did one. You've got it. It's your house. Yeah, but then if I painted another zombie shark, then we'd all have to sing every now and then. I do actually have another one in my box. I don't think there's a lot of new things that I can tell you about. I've been adding mini art scale models in 137. No, that's a lie. 135 scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, 135 right. Scale. I knew that. I've been typing it all day. And it's the interior kit, so they have really, really detailed interiors in these mini art kits. So I've been adding them all day, and I've got some more TT Combat to add on the table over there. We've got some board games to add as well, but we've not got around to that yet. What other new exciting stuff have we got?
We've got lots of board games. We've had a delivery of Reaper turn up today, so if J-Star's still in the house, the figure that you have requested has arrived. I just need to unpack it. But that delivery turned up today, so that'll be a task for tomorrow. More Reaper, but this is all restocks, no new stuff. Yeah, he should be in there. I think. Yeah, I think so.
And maybe Mossbeard for Pete. We just need to unpack and find the paperwork and see what they've actually sent us. Because obviously, sometimes when you order stuff, it might not necessarily be in stock at their end.
Yeah, well, so we get generally 2 deliveries. So one delivery comes from their UK hub, and then anything that they don't have in the UK, we have to wait for air freight. Dominion goes on pre-order on Saturday, J-Star. What I can tell you about Dominion currently is that
breaking news.
Yeah, is that it is limited, as they have with a few of their recent releases, limited to so many per store currently, and what that means is that a lot of stores will have very small numbers again. Oh yeah, so yes, maybe should share that information. So that apparently there is going to be no made-to-order planned. So like they did with Indomitus, where they did the made-to-order. They've obviously got some kind of production schedule or whatever going on at Games Workshop. Because I don't know if anybody's aware that the Gaunt's Ghosts box set, it still says it's available for pre-order on GW's website. They've sold out to trade of their current stock. I think we've still got a couple of items left in stock from our pre-order allocation. But anybody might have noticed that it's been on the Games Workshop website that the current date for knock the camera there. The current date for fulfillment of those orders is actually October now. So with Dominion, that they've decided that they're not going to do a made to order because it will push their schedule so far out of production. So if you don't get one the first time round, you're probably going to be out of luck, I'm afraid, with Dominion. Right, what do you reckon to that guy? Does he look silly?
Just hold it up a bit closer and I will try and focus it for you.
Does he just look like I've blobbed a load of pink all over him? You can't really tell, can you? This one.
That looks better. It looks better with some light on him so that we can actually see him. Wicked decent. Looks good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave him. I was going to paint a bit of the ground pink, but I think all the light needs to be coming up rather than going down. Yeah, I think that looks alright. I'm going to leave him at that, I think. Quite happy with that. Thanks, Wicked D. Yeah, he'll do.
If you hold that light underneath you, you could tell us a ghost story.
Oh, it's too bright, I can't put it in my face. Thanks, Chunkster. Oh, there we go. If I hold him like that, the light might catch him just right. Don't know. Anyway, I'm quite happy with how he's turned out. So Dominion, let's just waffle about Dominion a little bit more. So you need to, if you want it, you need to kind of get in there fairly early on. We're going to find out on Friday if we can get more than we have originally been told that we're going to get. So I don't know yet how many copies we will be able to stock, but if you do want one, you need to get in there early. That's all I can say at this moment in time. And a lot of the other products that are being released as well, the rule book and the combat gauge and the objective markers and the other things, they're all extremely limited as well. So yeah, that's all I can tell you for now. But I may be able to give you new information as the week progresses, because I would imagine that GW are probably going to give us a lot more information as we move on. What I can tell you is that we have ordered a lot, and we are not getting everything that we have ordered. I can tell you that much.
Nowhere near everything that you've ordered.
No.
Like ridiculously nowhere near everything that you've ordered.
Yeah. So based on previous releases, we knew that we would need a lot of stock.
But we're not getting it.
But we're probably not going to get it. So the numbers that they've given us so far are very small, and then we'll see where we are from there. So we're going to leave our stream there for tonight. Please join us tomorrow at 7 PM. I will be painting the Pirate Queen. Mrs. MLG is going to be painting whatever she
I've been doing
takes
that.
her fancy.
It's a bit wet still, but you can tell people at least roughly what I'm up to.
So Mrs. MLG has been painting this wonderful barricade. This is from the Mantic Terrain Crate, and she's doing an absolutely fantastic job on this. Be very proud to put that on my Frostgrave table.
You don't like it when I do grey wood, though.
It looks awesome.
You don't like it when I do grey wood. I once painted a forest, some trees, some GW trees, and I did them all grey because they're supposed to be dead. And then he told me they didn't like it. I had to repaint them. I've still not found a brown I like. That's what it is.
Right. Cool. So, see you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and watching us and listening to us waffle along. See you all later. Bye.